across the sea. Cleopatra wigs and shiny shoes. It was clear she saw what she did to you. Street corner spotlight lights up the stage where she lives her life. Streetwalker in the spotlight each night, walking on the sharp edge of the knife. Run for the money, walk for the grab, the best you've had. Best you've had. Best you've had. Run for the money, walk for the grab, the best you've had. Lecherous men all ask her out, to most of them she says no. The paying gent she sticks to most. A wealthy man is a generous host. Street corner spotlight, a delicate shade to enhance skin white. Streetwalker in the spotlight, flesh painted on, skin tight. Run for the money, walk for the grab, the best you've had. Best you've had. Best you've had. Run for the money, walk for the grab, the best you've had.
G'day, you mob. That was interesting timing and fun, making it just in the nick of time. How's it going? Oh, what's been going on? Don't answer that all at once. Hi there. How's it going? I just did that one, didn't I? It's only so many times I can say, how's it going? Oh, look out. Chewy, second week in a row. First cab off the rank. As per usual, big bucket of kudos in the post to you, Chewy. Chewy's going to be swimming in kudos soon, as if he isn't already. BJ Palmer, hello, BJ. Pipex or Pipex. I was privy to a discussion on a particular Minecraft stream the other day where there was debate about how Pipex's name was pronounced. Pipex even. One said Pipex, one said Pipex. What's going on back there? One's a bit wonky. But you know, what's in a name? Letters and stuff. Big D Smoke, how are you? Joel G, g'day mate. Mickham, probably fast asleep by now. I think it's, what is it? Be 4-ish, maybe, around Mickham's neighbourhood in the morning. Punchy Paints, g'day Pam, how's it going? It's tricky, that fish there, Mickham. Yeah, it's actually a green terror, but yeah, it's been tinkered with and arted with and stuff. So yes, I can understand that it does look a lot like an Akara, considering they are very, very similar species and stuff. Where was I up to? Joel G, I got you. That's a happy lad. Which one? Oh, when I came in laughing because I just made it to sit down. Streetwise, how are you, Streety? And Joe Davis, welcome. Welcome, Joe Davis. Glad your cherry has been popped. I don't even know if that's still an acceptable thing to say in general public. Are you allowed to pop people's cherries now? Maybe it meant something before our accepted meaning of it these days. Anyway, let's all prepare ourselves for a bit of that. Hi there.
Hi.
I did stumble across a new round of applause sound effect. Goes for about 1 minute and 20 seconds, so I think my 20 seconds might still be a better option.
Probably.
What's going on? What have you been doing?
I've been mostly my little kids went to school and I did some painting.
Back to school after the Easter break.
Yes. They were not very pleased about that.
Yeah, kids, let's say 90% of kids probably don't necessarily enjoy going back to school.
No. Right, no. I almost sent one off on a non-school day the other day, on Monday.
So when was the official start day? Today or yesterday?
For him it was yesterday, but then he didn't go yesterday because he had a sore tummy.
A sore tummy?
And he truly, the night before, he didn't eat his dinner, which was his favourite dinner to have, and he didn't seem to want to eat. And so I believe that it was sore, and he did have a sleep in the day and, stuff. So it was a genuine sick day.
Either that or just very, very dedicated to getting that day off school.
Yeah.
Committing 24 hours prior. But yeah, kids get crook.
Yeah.
It's all that dirt they eat. You got to eat your dirt to get healthy, but you got to get sick first. Some nonsense like that. I don't know. Can you not see the chat? You've got Pam saying hi to you.
I was meant to be paying attention to it. So that's what I was saying last week.
That was my delicate reminder to pay attention to the chat and keep practicing.
I appreciate it. And hi, Pam.
Had a little blue-tongue lizard wandering around here. G'day, Gaffer. How are you, mate? My son Joshua, who breeds blue-tongue lizards. Oh, running cows. Wonder what they're running for or from. How bizarre. Anyway, yeah, it was definitely one of his babies that he released up here. Wasn't even scared when I approached it. I was kind of hoping I would hear it at some stage so I could pick it up and show it to the world. But last I saw him, he was heading under the fish tanks near the archway there, so he might be in under there and not very grabbable until he walks up to my feet wanting a pat.
Oh, he's very cute. They're very, very adorable. But
Yes, it's just unfortunate that he can't keep them all.
Yeah, well, Soren so wants one. He's very, very keen.
Yeah,
and
you know, lizards can be more difficult to keep than snakes because they've got more dietary requirements and stuff, and light stuff.
Yeah, well, that's because he also is very, very keen to have a snake. But, I have to take it on as that it'll be, I have to be the responsible person.
You have to be prepared and ready to assume that responsibility.
Yeah.
Pardon me. Definitely not running from a Komodo dragon. Is that just you yourself, Chewy? Is that how you want to go? You want to get it by a Komodo dragon?
They're one that I don't like them very much. Just always when I watch them, because they poison their prey, and then they just stand around waiting for it to get sick enough to get eaten, and I always just find them a little bit.
Yeah, they can smell their prey from 2 kilometers away, but pretty much as soon as they've chomped into something and filled it full of the nasty bacteria, and I think they may have some ancient type of venom included with the bacteria and stuff, but basically it gives the animal a nasty infection, and then they just wander along behind it until it falls over too sick to move, and then gobble it up, piece by piece by piece. Yeah, it's pretty interesting method of predation.
So, my dog's just come in and lay down at my feet, and she smells bad. She just got washed yesterday, so she's just been in something that's really smelly.
She probably found something dead.
Or some poo. I think she found poo.
What sort of poo? Her own poo?
Maybe.
Kangaroo poo.
Well, kangaroo poo isn't that smelly.
Gross. G'day, Aquamate. How are you, Joshua? Yeah, that's what I thought, Chewy, that there was a component, a venom and a bacterial component in their saliva. But I think it can't be 100% sure, but I think the fact that there was an actual venom there, I think they didn't discover that until too long ago. I think maybe 20 or 30 years ago. Up until then, they just thought it was brutal, nasty mouth bacteria. They probably didn't have anyone able to get close enough to a Komodo to get good samples. I keep hearing teasy little noises that I keep thinking are going to be lizard coming out at me.
Have you got a bit of fruit or something that you can put by your feet, so it will be lured out to come and have a munch, and then we can all enjoy it?
I'm kind of thinking that because of the how it did kind of or get quite cold last night, he might just be looking for somewhere to hole up. But they don't really hibernate or anything, so he'd want somewhere that he can access a bit of sun. But I fear for him if he goes under the fish tank stand right near the archway there, because the noises that I hear in my walls at night, I think there might be rats under there, or mice at least. But I don't think he'd be very able to defend himself against, being less than a year old. Actually, only about 6 months old, I think. Oh, neat. Same bacteria in vampire tetras. Just not as nasty. Probably not as nasty because of the quantity, I would imagine, or the volume, I guess.
What do vampire tetras look like?
They look like little silver fish. Oh no, that's right. They get pretty big, don't they? I've been fooled by that before because they're tetras, but they get pretty massive, and lots of big teeth. Yeah, I remember someone cleared that up for me some time ago, because you hear the name tetra, you assume a tiny little fish, but yeah, apparently they're one of the biggest tetras, aren't they? Someone may confirm. BJ's back. I suppose I could find a picture.
Yeah, show me a picture.
Images. And go back over here, go down here, share more screen. There it is. Share screen, share. Oh, yes, I gotta actually, there it is. So yes, even this first one here is probably the best example of its teeth, but
I like that.
Yeah, they're pretty brutal. I think that picture may be. I was going to say it might be a case of forced perspective, but just looking at his hand behind the gills there, it's quite a massive specimen. Yeah, they've certainly, I imagine, would be quite entertaining to be bitten by.
Indeed. That's a beautiful mouth. I like it a lot.
And aren't they?
Mm.
And yes, I guess the I want a picture of the jaw to see where the bottom teeth go, whether they just rest against the roof of the mouth, or if there's a cavity that they slide into, if they get sheathed.
Or do they stick on the outsides?
No, because there's plenty of photos there of closed mouths without the teeth, but then it looks like that one.
Because like that upper lip looks to be much smaller than the bottom,
I fear for that one that I've got highlighted there at the minute. I fear for its eyeballs. But yeah, all the other ones with closed mouths the teeth seem to be inside their mouth, so that one might be a little bit munted. He looks like half of his front of his face is missing. Brutal.
Thank you.
So,
I'm
now
really
you know
glad
what
that you. Yeah, thank you. I like that. I'm gonna look at them on my own later.
Say that again.
I'm gonna look at them on my own later.
You might get some inspiration. Now, there we go. Chewy says they get 3 feet long, so that certainly explains that picture before. massive for a tetra. Are they an actual tetra? And I guess as a footnote to that question, are they the biggest tetra, if they are indeed? Chewy's lawyer had one. Would eat a live tilapia a day.
Awesome.
Yeah, tilapia, hey? We can't have them down here. Illegal.
I bought some tilapia skins.
Tilapia skin.
Yeah, like because you can make leather out of it. So it's like fish leather. And my favourite one was the barramundi. And so there's a place up in the Northern Territory that does barramundi leather that's really, really nice. But the tilapia was a lot cheaper. I don't know whether it was all very ethical and stuff. I just bought some to do a specific thing with. But I was interested in it.
Well, at least
really
your barramundi leather would have been probably an Australian product or farmed in Southeast Asia. But yeah, your tilapia stuff.
No, they were Australian, the company that I was looking at the barramundi from.
Yeah, the tilapia would have to have come from overseas because I don't think you can even legally farm them here.
No,
with the license
definitely.
and stuff.
It was somewhere in, I don't know, Southeast Asia, where that was coming from. But it makes this beautiful leather because it's all got all the little furry bits around where the scales go. And it's very soft.
Yeah.
And beautiful. It's beautiful.
Well, it's good to use that kind of stuff as well. G'day again, Big D Smoke. Big D must have said hi before and then disappeared. And g'day, Tropico. How's it going? What was my train of thought? Using, it's using most of the fish instead of once you've cut your fish fillets out and sent them off to market, then you've got another very useful product, especially with the barramundi, because, your fish that you're selling to market and stuff are going to be quite big, so you're going to get quite a large amount of leather from your barras. Not sure what the treatment process would be. I'm sure it'd be something very similar to normal any other animal hide.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It's not something that I know that much about.
And then all the rest of it gets churned up into either fish food or fish emulsion or what else? Dog food, fish stock. Who knows? Who knows what all the rank shit's used for? Roundhouse Aquatics. G'day, Rockford. How's it going? I've finally locked it into my memory. Roundhouse Aquatics is Rockford. Yeah, that's where all the churned up fish action goes, into hot dogs. Absolutely. That's what gives them that beautiful flavour. And Chewy, I'm fairly certain that vampire tetras are on our banned list and have been for quite a long time. I'm sure they'd thrive in some of our rivers and decimate populations of our native fish as other invasive species have. I mean, lots of people use the kangaroo leather, BJ. I don't use any leather really for anything like creative or making things out of, but Sarah may have used it if she's used fish leather.
I have had a little bit. The main thing, I guess that I do like doing stuff with leather, but leather is also expensive. I also like like fur on hide for making some stuff. But, you know, there's always this thing where I sort of get not just the financial aspects, because it does cost quite a bit for a nice piece of leather or fur, but wanting to source it responsibly. You know, I don't want to participate in something that might not be, you know, doing things very responsibly and ethically.
Sure.
So it's all a bit tricky to
G'day, Rico. How are
do
they,
that
mate?
background research.
What did you use the fish leather for?
Oh, I was using it. I had some to make like a pouch thing, and I've used some. I've still got a bag full of fish leather scraps that are used for like the dolls and clothes and stuff for them.
Cool.
And actually, that's right. I also got a whole bunch of scales, like barramundi scales.
Oh, yeah.
To use. I wanted to make like a cape out of them, a little miniature doll cape thing.
Out
But,
of fish.
you know.
Yeah, that'd be
Yeah.
pretty cool. Oh, Metal Hammer Jimmy. Crikey, Jimmy, where have you been, lad? Hope you've been well. Long time no see. Welcome back. Always good to see you, Metal Hammer Jimmy.
See, so I used to watch that Jeremy Wade guy every day. He used to be on the ABC with the river monsters, but I don't remember that. I don't recognize the name of the fish, so maybe I didn't see that one because, yeah, that was always pretty interesting, except for, you know, I always just wanted them to get to the point of it, like he'd, you know, make up like and go through all the myths and everything and talking to all the people, making out this whole thing, and then you just get like a little bit of getting to actually see the fish. Oh no, it wasn't actually a mythical creature, it was just a fish. All along.
That's what makes it a quality television program, is that it follows the formula for a quality television program where you slowly build up and then you climax. So, you know. But yeah, it's certainly another one of those fine examples of a show that went about 20 more minutes than it really needed to, essentially. Alien World Aquatics as well. There's another name I haven't seen around here in a long time. How are you, Scotty? Hope you and Paige are well. So many lizards running around at the moment that aren't the blue tongue that I want to grab. Rico. I knew someone would go there, especially if I started it with build up slowly. Yeah, I saw the name Payara there on my Google search. I would imagine that's what the natives call them. Collab of Curios. Hello, Adele. How's it going? Welcome. Fish and Shrimp by Rich. I missed you and your slash. Fish and Shrimp by Rich. Asking if you've got your pants on today.
I do have pants on, but I didn't get dressed. Like last time I went to the effort of getting proper dressed, and this week I was like, you just see my shoulders, like I don't need to get proper dressed, but I do have pants on.
You just have to take your word for it.
Yeah.
Sounded like a car in the driveway, but it was very quiet. Oh, Cole. Off to you.
Even Brandy also.
Huh?
I asked for tally hose. I didn't realize I got it out of the game with them anyway.
That's all right. All good.
Can I still tap and die handles from in there? Where's the tap?
I'll be back.
Oh, is the door open? Or did I shut? Yeah, it's open.
And that's just me on here, and this is why I'm not very good at. But I'll try and read the comments and see. Oh, I don't know what specific, if you're talking about something specific, Pam, but I hate the stupids too. But, you know, we might be talking about different stupids. Yeah, I used to watch it, the River Monsters with my eldest son, and you know, he really enjoyed it. It was like every day, really look forward to it. But yeah, even if there was a lot of build up for not a lot of stuff, it was really interesting seeing all the different places and all of the fish that he was catching. Oh. I'm really not good at this, reading comments and talking stuff. I'm following. I'm just bad at it. Thank goodness for all of us.
Hi, HSP. Hello. How are you, Steph? Oh, what have I missed? Does Steph not know your name? She's calling you guest because I've got a comment on screen and we lose our names.
Yeah, I'm getting confused. I saw a comment from Pam and I was answering it, but then it turns out that, yeah, I was just confused.
What are you saying?
About the I hate stupid people thing. Somewhere back there. Anyway, I actually think it's safer for everyone if I don't try and read the comments. I think it just makes things a little bit weird.
I probably should charge like daily rentals on tools that get borrowed out of the shed. Then they might get returned in time. Or just when they want to borrow a tool, sell it to them. Oh, I didn't even think. I don't know if he wanted metric or imperial thread. He'll find out, I suppose, shortly. Anyway, just thinking out loud. Oh, juvie umbees. I didn't even know we could get umbees down here, Jimmy.
What are they?
Big cichlid.
Okay.
I think if I've got the right fish. Yeah, they're another one of those nice, big, pretty, aggressive fish that you can really only keep in pairs. But very, very attractive fish. I mean, they're one of those fish that's, you know, maybe subject to taste. Some people might consider them incredibly ugly and stuff. But yeah, I think they're gorgeous, big, chunky units of fish. GRB, g'day, mate.
Aren't like really, you know, fish are one of those things because there's besides all of your personalities and things that you have to take into account when you're keeping them, it's a very aesthetic thing. And so that becomes particular to different people. You know, everyone's all fish, even if they like look really pleasing and pretty, is maybe not what other people, you know, want to see in the fish in their tanks and stuff. So I imagine it's all quite objective.
I'm not sure if that's fair income, Rico. I'll take your word for it. Chunky unit. Rolls off the tongue nice. Ah.
Chunky is a really good word.
A real what?
It's a really good word. I
Well,
like
it's almost onomatopoeic, isn't it?
Certainly you can feel it.
Oh, that's Rockford. That was yesterday here. Can't believe I missed it. I mustn't have looked at a calendar at all yesterday. Or alternatively, I just didn't care. Oh, Rico, I see what you did there. Lucky the good boy clock is finished. All the filth can come into the chat now, and Rico's proven it. I assume he's being filthy. I mean, maybe it's just my mind going filth. Hey, don't be sorry. We're all dirty old men to some extent, even the ladies. And the theys. I think I'm supposed to do that, aren't I? I'm supposed to be inclusive of everyone. T-Bone, g'day, mate. The hour of the smut is upon us. Yes, once that good boy clock is over. Actually, it's quite handy that I do start generally with, you know, about 4 or 5 minutes of not being on camera. That takes away most of the good boy clock straight away. Oh, wow, and you just stumbled across him, Jimmy. Nice one. How's, what's his, breeding setup? Is his breeding pair massive and in a massive tank? Or are they just, you know, still growing? Terry's Tropical Tanks. G'day, Triple T. How's it going? Pardon me. I, a couple of days ago moved. Oh, no, it was only yesterday, actually. No, it wasn't. Pardon me. It was Monday. I moved my last 2 Rivulatus babies from my awesome breeding pair of them. They're now in a 3-foot tank. And the larger one is quite aggressive to the bristlenose that are in there already.
It's very nice to see them and not just be hidden down in the dark down there.
Yeah, well, that was absolutely a foolish place to put that tank, because I just, you know, I had this much space between the top of the tank and the edge of the tank stand. I couldn't even do any work in there. I could barely get in there to siphon water out. And so, yeah, basically I was just doing top-ups on that tank for the last 12 months. Surprised that only one of them died. I did have 3 in there, but there was only 2 left. I've not kept them, Scott, and I'm fairly certain that we can't even get newts in Australia. Another creature that we cannot even touch down here. Oh, that's disappointed to hear that, Adele. I was convinced you were going to call him Simon. He just absolutely looked like a Simon to me. But yeah, I don't know if any of our other Australians can confirm, but I'm fairly certain that newts and salamanders and stuff are not allowed down here, even though we can have axolotls. Ah, right, hey, nice. At least he doesn't miss out. So all these nicknames your snail's going to have, Adele, and he's probably going to die within 9 months. Oh, that's harsh. Harsh, but it's possible. Yeah. Have you put any videos out? Because I remember when you were setting that tank up and you were planning to put newts in there, but I don't think I've seen any vids of yours since then. But you know, I don't really watch much YouTube. It's probably, yeah, right. Well, I'm going to go and have a look at your newt tank at some stage this afternoon. Terry, Simon, Gary, George, Corn, Julio the first. I don't think you need to put the first at the end of it, but you know, it's a nice touch. I think you only get, don't you just get junior and then you get third? I think that's how it works. Pardon me. Crikey, 16 and 12. 6 by 3 by 3. Wow. Yeah, that's a awesome footprint for a tank, I reckon. Great size. Might be a little bit deep, but you know, worth it in the long run. It's my little Willy Wagtail, mate. He's been hanging around a bit lately. Coming right in and hanging out on the table and finding bugs and whatnot. I opened my worm farm up for him the other day because he likes to land on my Wriggler jar and drink the water out of it. And then I thought I'd open up the worm farm and see if he wanted to get in there and eat out some of my soldier fly maggots. But as soon as I took the lid off, he didn't come back. Or he did, however, do a very fun thing yesterday morning. There was a, you know, the little wood doves, or whatever you want to call them, that we get around here, like a fine little foresty type pigeon. There was one of them in the bird bath, and the Willy Wagtails come down and landed on the pigeon's back and sat there, and the pigeon was just sort of doing this with its wings and not really trying to kick it off or anything, and then flew out onto the grass, and then the Willy Wagtail jumped on its back again, and then the pigeon flew up onto the fence, and then Willy Wagtail jumped up onto its back again, and then it was letting it do it for a few seconds at a time, and then it flew back down onto the grass, and the next time the Willy Wagtail jumped onto the dove's back, it flew away. I think it got sick of it. Two Dogs, how's it going? Welcome. Oh, you don't plan to get more snails, Adele. You just get more. They just happen.
I want snails. I had one, but I haven't seen it for ages. And it was just sort of like a tiny little one. It did appear out of nowhere, but
with the all of the fish missing out of the tank inside, now I seem to have a lot of extra shrimp getting around the tank and a lot of extra snails that I didn't know were in there. So I'm tempted to put what are they called? White clouds. Seems to be a struggle to find rice fish around here. I wouldn't mind putting some Daisy's rice fish or something in there. I didn't even know Daisy's rice fish were a thing until I saw Pam's, and they're very pretty fish. White clouds would be good. They're available around here. But, you know, got to be tiny, tiny little fish. that can't eat my shrimp. What else is in the tank with him, T-Bone? We've all had that problem lately.
That happened to me.
It happened to me too. Better disappeared. No carcass or anything, but there is bristlenose in that tank. So
And he did seem like he wasn't very well for a while.
for a long time. Yeah, I'm very surprised that he lasted as long as he did. But when the when the glass catfish died, I knew there was something wrong going on in that tank.
Yeah, because my one, he wasn't even sick. He was perfectly healthy, and then next day, not a sign of him.
Yeah, well, I wondered about the because when I lost they died. The glass cats, like one of their carcasses got sucked to the edge of the filter, and another one was on the bottom of the tank, and I was a little bit confused as to why the bristlenose weren't gobbling up their carcasses. Probably not enough meat on it to make it interesting. So yeah, but the better, certainly meaty enough to get eaten up.
He was such a pretty fish, that one.
Who else? GRB, I think, has a few betters. Don't you have betters breeding GRB? I want to know what the life expectancy of a better is. Who's had the longest better living? Pardon me, crikey, thick and fast.
I had one for like a couple of years.
Like back in the day?
Back in the day. And he was just like, I just had like a big bowl. And he just lived in the big bowl. And he was called Schmish the fish. And he did really well. He just like lived and lived. And I, moved houses and all sorts of things, and he just went on and on.
I wonder if it's oh, there we go. Paddy, hello, Paddy Shaddy, welcome. Over 4 years old. That must be some kind of record. I just think down here we're just exposed to just really shitty genes, and they're just destined for muntness.
Maybe. But yeah, the betters that I've had in this tank, the tank is like set up like, I think like pretty perfect for them, and it's got a nice temperature, and all the water's being, filtered, and there's places that they can hide or not. And I'm just amazed that they're just not lasting very long, whereas I've had one in that bowl didn't get heated up, it didn't, get filtered or anything. It was just a bowl of water.
Yeah.
For years in it.
And you didn't change water, you just added water? Or did you do water changes?
No, I think I I used to do, so what I'd learned when I was young doing fish tanks was to every day take out a cup of water and put in a cup of water every day. But yeah, I used to do big clean outs that when I had a big tank too, and I was just a kid, I'd clean the whole thing out, put fresh water.
Yeah, those kind of clean outs that get frowned upon nowadays, but I was the same when
my fish all lived and were happy.
I was the same when I first started. I'd do that. I'd take all the fish out, put them in a bucket of the fish water, and clean everything out with hose water, and clean all the filters out, put it all back together, and had very minimal loss from doing that. And nowadays, if you don't, follow all the rules precisely, you get frowned at. Yeah, I'm sticking with my theory that down here where we're so far away from, you know, good genes and stuff, we just get so many cross inbred munted gene, what do you call them, pools. I'll do. So yeah, I don't know if I'll worry about doing a better ever again, because they're enjoyable when you first get them, and then they're disappointing because they die in 6 or 12 months.
But I want to put something in that tank. I think I was asking you that last week because, like, I don't know what else will be really happy in there, because without me, like, maybe aerating it a bit more. You know, it's got a little waterfall, but I don't think it would do enough to have, fish that need a bit more air in the water.
Yeah, you'd probably, if you wanted to go for more than one fish, you'd be looking at tiny little fish as well, because we're only talking, what's your depth? 15 centimeters, maybe not even that.
No, it's deeper than that, but it's like, I reckon looking at it from here, it's closer to 20. And like, yeah. But yeah, it would have to be something small.
Yeah.
I just don't want to put things in there that are not going to be happy and are going to die.
And did you say you've still got shrimp in there?
Yeah, but not very many. They're not like booming. So I had the first bedder and it didn't really eat the shrimp very much. And then when it died, the shrimp population just absolutely boomed and the tank was full of shrimp. And then when I got the next one, he went in there and he was just like so stoked, and he hunted them all down and ate them until you could never see a sign of any of them. And since he's gone, there's like, a couple, but they haven't boomed again. They haven't made lots of babies and stuff.
When was the last time you pulled the filter out of there? Oh, g'day, ugly man. How are you, man?
Well, I haven't done that since the fish was gone.
Because pretty much every shrimp tank, or every tank that I've had that has had shrimp in it, every time I would pull the filter out to clean it, I'd get like a bonus 10 shrimp out of the filter sponges, because they'd get sucked in there and then they'd just hang out in the filter and either decide that they can survive in there or can't find their way out. G'day, Deborah. How's it going? But yeah. Plus the like the last couple of times that I've done fish shops around here, they've just had the most feeble collections of fish available. But I have to do a trip over to Lismore tomorrow, and I think I'll come home via Wallingbar and go and visit the decent good shop over there and try and find some new fish for the inside tank over there. And food. I need my big cichlid pellets. G'day, BDA. How's it going? Because, my pellets are getting low. My nephew did send me a nice big sandwich bag full of these sinking pellets, but they're tiny little ones, so they're great for the baby festae and the rivulatus. But yeah, not so much for the big guys. So yeah, I'll go over there and on the way home from Lismore and find me some pellets and maybe some like I really wanted to put rummy nose tetras because I like a school of rummy nose, but I have a strange feeling that rummy nose are big enough to decimate my shrimp population.
I would love to have all the different coloured shrimp. if it was not really expensive, and and I know that they'll then breed it out, so you'd probably want to keep some isolated populations and then have a tank with mixed ones.
Yeah.
And I'm just not financially and stuff, I'm not.
What you need to find someone who actually does breed shrimp and take all of their culls and make your own Skittles tank out of their culls. That would be the way to do it.
That'd
Thanks,
be
BDA.
alright.
Because like you said, to keep their colours true, you can only have one colour with one colour, but then you still get them throwing weird colours and stuff. So yeah, to be right in the shrimp caper, you need at least 10 to 20 tanks, and be constantly picking shrimp out that you don't want and chucking them in your Skittles tank. Oh yeah, GRB off to
I
the
would
big.
kind of like that though.
Oh, it would be good.
Hmm.
A bit less maintenance than fish tanks, maybe. People would argue. Oh, T-Bone. T-Bone, I'm in the unfortunate circumstance where oh yeah, it's 2, by the way, T-Bone, not just 1. Double notch love from T-Bone. Yeah, I like foolishly shampooed my hair the other day, so it just goes whoosh. And it's gotten a bit warm today, so hair on my face and on the back of my neck makes me extra warm. And I think my
I
Darth
like
Vader
them.
t-shirt is a winter t-shirt. I don't think it's one I could get away with too much in the summer. Heavy, thick cotton. But yeah, everyone's entitled to their opinion, T-Bone. I like them much better when I can get them even, but I really messed them up today. It was one of those things that I thought, got to put my hair up like while the intro music's playing and stuff. And it wouldn't be a Dr. Black 66 stream without at least one hair comment. Would it now? I'm going to charge my glass. Is that the right word? No charging, it's when you do this.
I thought you meant like charging it up, like filling it full of juice.
That's what I will be doing, yeah. So one of those double meanings, I guess.
Well, that's charging, isn't it?
Well, it depends on what the meaning of charging is before a toast.
Well, I don't know.
No?
I've only heard you saying it, and so yeah, I have not heard it elsewhere. But being someone who mostly just doesn't interact with other human beings, it's not surprising that I may not have heard things. I wish my smelly dog would go away.
The only time I've heard it is like at weddings and things like that. Before a toast, they say, charge your glasses and yada, 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 whatever the next bit is. Oh, you can pick on me, T-Bone. I've got thick skin to go with my thick skull. Oh, there you go. Metal Hammer Jimmy's friend's getting into breeding shrimp. We'd better make friends. Go and get some shrimp off her when she's going good.
I definitely like that idea.
Well, there's a few Instagrammers that I follow that do lots of different shrimp, and there's so many gorgeous varieties out there. But I think even in places like Melbourne, Blake was saying the other day on one of his streams that they are very, very cost prohibitive, because generally, if you want to start a colony of shrimp, you want to get at least 10 to 15, better even more. But lots of the really pretty, good colours are so friggin' expensive. Like you're talking $20 to $30 per shrimp. So you're looking at $200 to set up a 10 shrimp colony of something really good. So yeah, it's very, very, very cost prohibitive down here. Probably the best way to do it is start a business and import them directly from Southeast Asia, where all the good stuff gets done. I know Chewy knows a few people in Southeast Asia that are mad shrimp breeders and guppy breeders and stuff. No, yes, I meant to get a Z-Beam. I meant to mention that to people earlier that Z-Beam would have been a guest on the stream, but he's definitely struggling with his interwebs. Oh, neat. And I've just received, actually I received it about 18 minutes ago, picture from Alien World Aquatics of his newts. I'll pop that down there. Oh, it's not going to work really well, is it? That's so cute.
Very cute.
What a nice picture as well, Scotty. Well done. I hope he doesn't mind me showing the picture to everyone. And another message. Oh, and a hairy nose. I'll try and avoid sucking fire up my nose. I thought I picked all the annoying ones out last night. Oh, there we go. I hope Jimmy's absolutely was in response to us touching base with his friend. Bit of a drive to the sunny coast, but if the price is right, it'd be worth it.
I'm just going to disappear for a sec.
Do you just go and disappear?
I would like to.
It'd be handy, wouldn't it? Speaking of I Dream of Jeannie, do you reckon you could make that show nowadays? Couldn't get away with it, could you? Oh, that's a good idea, I reckon, Jimmy, to do it in that order. Get your ABN and business name started, and then that's your you're kind of committed then. If you save that kind of thing till last, then it's like, I've lost motivation and it's not a real thing, so I don't have to do it. But if you got that ABN and business stuff going, then it's like you've got something in concrete, something to commit to. Go for it.
Hi.
Hi, welcome back.
Thanks.
And just lock the dog outside.
No, I went to the toilet.
Oh, that was another thing I did in my mad 5-minute rush. After I'd clicked go live, I realised I hadn't done a wee. Needed to rush off and do a wee. Make a drink, do my hair. All in the space of 5.5 minutes, roughly.
That's all you need.
Yeah. No, and it made me come in with a big grin on my face because I was moving very rapidly and just made it to sitting down when the stopped. I have got a message from Joel, but I haven't confirmed whether Corvus will be coming up or not. It seems to be otherwise occupied at the moment. I know I had. Well, I thought I had something that I needed to discuss with him, but now it's gone from my memory. Probably come back eventually. Oh, it still doesn't work that way. Oh, did he leave it? Yeah, she's out now. There you go.
Yeah, explain. She's got poo on her, so we locked her outside.
Good
Yeah,
thing.
she was sitting under me, and I was just stunk. But you know, I was busy.
Now she's
Don't
going to
know.
sit there at the door looking at us.
She's actually looking out the other way.
Yeah, she turned her head. Now she's looking back at you. She turned her head just as you turned around because she didn't want
No,
you
she's looking. She's looking away. Even when you said she was looking this way, like that's what it looks like on there. But when I turn around, it's like an illusion. Because she's just a silhouette dog. A little bit less so now that she's got a brown moustache. Do you want me to show you my picture?
Sure.
The one from before?
Sure. Hang on, I'll full screen you so you can show it in all.
Because then if you just show me half, then we can see you reacting to it. No, I already sent it to you, but I think it's different when you can see it. Like,
Yeah, I mean, sure, that would work on first viewing, but I already seen this one an hour or so ago.
does that look blurry to everyone? It looks really blurry.
I was thinking that when you first came on that your pardon me, that your whole shebang looked a little bit wonky. I don't know whether you need to up your maybe your camera resolution is set low if you go into your cam/mic settings.
I'll have a look.
Or alternatively, like it made me, that's when I did these ones before, because it also made me think that it's been a while since I cleaned filth off my camera. So maybe, well, there you go. That's much sharper. Heaps sharper. Was it a resolution thing?
Well, it was on 480 or something.
Yeah.
And I put it to 720.
That's what you want.
So, yeah, there's that one. I also did another bookmark that I didn't show you, I don't think.
Might be nice to show everyone those bookmarks you were showing me the other day, especially that one that was a piece of another picture as well.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, I've got them.
That was a really cool idea, I thought.
All right. Well, I'll start with this one was this morning, so I will bring that one up. Or if you can see it, why is it so reflective? It's actually not reflective at all. It's just
got to find the right angle away from the light.
Anyway, this little guy, I like it a little. Head skulls.
I didn't notice what his hat was. It's very cool. Or her hat, whatever the case may be.
Well, you know, we can't tell. That's okay. We don't have to know.
Maybe it's James Gum.
I don't think so. You seem quite obsessed with him. And I had this little one. I'm kind of concerned that I need to close that blind over there. Might stop that brightness issue. This one's got little gold bits on it.
And this is the one also that you couldn't work out the other day whether it goes that way or upside down.
That's it. So the thing is, it seems pointless when I'm holding out and it just looks like a nothing. There you go. You can see it a bit like that. So that way or that way. And I don't know. It's a mystery. I suppose you could just use it both ways, and then
Yeah, the book's probably not going to care.
don't think so. And I did the little skull one. Where did I put it? There. That was the good spot. And then, well, there's the one. So this is the one you're talking about. If I can.
Pardon me.
Yeah. But it is from this guy. Okay. And then, if I can do it, which I don't know if I can because of all the confusingness of. Hang on.
Yeah, I was going to say lay it down and do it first.
Except I've gotten it a bit crooked still anyway. So, and now I can't adjust it.
It's fun to watch though.
Yeah. You know, not exactly, but something like that. Yeah.
That looks
like,
closer.
It's like a little piece of it. Yeah, close, but no tamale, you know?
There you go. Bang. Bang-ish.
It's so confusing. All back to front. But yeah, so I did that one, which I like it, but I like it with the picture. And it's made me want, because I wasn't sure about, I wanted to colour this one in much the colours that I did on here. But then I just wasn't sure, and part of me wanted to just leave it. I always want to leave them when they're black and white. Like, it's really hard to colour them, but usually once they're coloured, I'm glad I did. But I was considering doing some that have got just like little windows like that. Like I just mark off a section and I just paint only in that section.
Ah, yeah.
That's what I'm starting to feel like I want to do.
Alternatively, another idea might be if you've got other pictures like that, you can do the same thing and take a cutting out of one of your other pictures. Yeah, color it up differently and then sell them as a pair sort of thing.
Yeah,
So
that will be cute.
Can frame up the main artwork and then maybe laminate the bookmark or something.
Well, yeah, I was considering with the bookmarks because, you know, they're just like offcut bits of paper, but it seemed good to use them. So I made them into the bookmarks, but I am considering whether or not I should laminate them.
I would have a strange feeling.
I have access to one.
A laminator. Yeah. Well, I think the you know, a person who reads frequently is going to smash up that cotton paper pretty quick.
Yeah, probably. Especially they've kind of got one like deckled edge on them, which is that little rough, and it's like thin and different. So yeah, but then I was also considering if I should put a little tassel-y thing. You know, I've got, because I make some of the jewelry stuff, and I sort of like thought I use some of those cords to make like little, make them truly bookmarks. But yeah. And yeah, I don't know. I've got other stuff, but I don't know what's worth seeing. I have this one here, but it's not finished yet either because I need the pipette.
Need what?
The pipette that I was telling you about. So what I want to do is I've got this gold ink, and even though I've got gold paints and stuff, but it's just not the same. They've got the gold ink, and I want to do it, but because the pigment in it is really heavy, so it settles on the bottom, and they have to give it really good shake, and then you get a dip, and your ink's good. But by the time you go dip again, it's already settled on the bottom. So I wanted to get it out of the bottle so I can like just mix it with my brush every time I want to take some. And that one's going to have goldness. I don't know. I can already see it on there, even though it's not on there yet.
Well, the gold will certainly work well with that grey blue colour, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's So what I did, because I'd lost my paints and I couldn't get any more, but I bought like with Afterpay, which is my like love-hate thing, because I love it if I can buy things and then later on I regret it because I didn't buy them because couldn't afford them. But I got like just a couple of colours, and I got the indigo one, and not in tubes, just in little half pans. And that colour is just, it's just what I want to do with that and with gold at the moment. Even I painted this one this morning, and I was like, I told myself, stop painting everything blue. You have to use some other colours. So I did, and then I was not like that happy actually. Afterwards, I was like, that should have been blue. Could have been blue with little gold skulls on top. That is what it is. So I like it though.
It's cute.
Yeah, I reckon.
G'day, Rumble. How's your rib cage, mate? G'day, Big J. What's going on? Welcome.
And yeah, I don't know. I probably won't show. I've got all those big black ones with the bits on them. But I did want to know.
You've piqued our interest now that you've said all the big black ones with bits on them.
They're not that exciting. I know, because I know what I want to do with them, and I got really like into it one day. But what I need is I want really big. I want big stuff, and I need big. Yeah, I just need it to be big. But yeah, no, like these ones that I was like, I'm just still playing around with the ideas of it. But yeah, so I was just playing, like I've got bits that are just like fiddling around, and I've got another giant one. But it was just like playing around, and from there I'm sort of
hang on, hold that one up again. Just
this
like
one's the furry one.
Yeah, you didn't give it like a still moment in front of the camera at all.
No, I didn't. That was a little bit on purpose.
But it's so cool. It's such a good eyeball.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
And yeah, I had this one that, you know, they weren't meant to be feathery at all, but it ended up like pretty feathery, and I was still working on it. That's the one I was doing when I said that song was playing over and 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 over until I was really literally nauseous from listening to it, and I had to stop painting.
What was the song called again?
I don't know. I think it might be called The Hobo's Lullaby. I think.
The Hobo's Lullaby.
I've tried to like block it from my memory. It really traumatized me.
Any artists out there, don't listen to The Hobo's Lullaby when you're trying to be creative.
You know, do if you like it and it speaks to you and it makes you connect with your art, do. But
maybe,
like for me,
maybe just once.
Yeah. Well,
Just
you know,
one
even
for it.
anything just once, you know, you can get through. But, you know, on play number 25 of the same song, things, you know, go a bit wrong. I did want to ask you actually, because I think I sent this one to you a while back when I did it, and I wanted to actually know if you liked him, because I kind of like him, but he's kind of really different to some of the other ones, and I wasn't sure.
It is very different.
Do you think he's lacking?
Yeah, see, I'm whenever I see like shades of yellow like that, I think it leaves me wanting more, because I'm not such a fan of yellows. But you know, again, it's all completely subjective, isn't it?
It is, and that's something like there's certain colors of plants, and I just don't like them, and it's kind of like that too yellowy green or too washed out, like those big agaves. They're like, I really don't like them. The something about the color is just I don't know. It's not rich enough or something.
See, there you go. I believe Metal Hammer Jimmy is saying he finds the yellowy one amazing. So entirely subjective.
Yeah, I like him. I kind of think I might end up just keeping him and hanging him up in my house. He's one of those that I'm sort of feeling that will happen with. But you know, I've got, because most of the ones that I've got that I've actually got to keep, they're all, yeah, they all don't have color. Like there's a couple have color up there, but they're not like for me to keep him. They're just up there for the sake of it. Most of the ones I really like have got no color in them, but I like feel like I have to keep them.
Do you mean Frangipani Rumble, the tree, the flower? I got both colours, but I don't think I can legally send them into Western Australia. I would have a strange feeling that quarantine would have something to say about that.
That's highly likely. But I tell you what, that one that's like out on the street and it's in amongst another one and it has that red color, that one is amazing. I love that one. But that's the one, hopefully, well, I'm not sure because you got some bits for me to bring home and they're growing and they haven't flowered yet. But I'm not confident if they're actually the red one or the other trees that are near it, closer to the driveway or not. But yeah, they're like, it's an amazing one. And because when you see it growing, it's not as much of it as the other one has. But I love it.
I'll just do it, Brene.
Yeah, definitely.
I've found the best thing to do with that kind of thing is just go and knock on the person's door and say, do you mind if I take a cutting off this tree? And quite often that person might say, oh, I've actually got 2 branches sitting right there that fell off last week. And they'll give you one.
And besides,
and then
like,
if they say no, go away, you just come back under the cover of darkness and take one anyway. But you know, it's often if you go in with the air to being a nice, decent human being, then they might say, oh, I've got this one as well out the backyard, or do you want some of this too? You might start this awesome, bountiful relationship where they give you lots of nice plants from their garden.
It's definitely worth it.
Yeah, I've found that to be useful before, just going and knocking on the door and saying, I see you've got this fantastic plant here. Can I take a tiny little piece of it to try and grow it myself? And they go, oh no, don't take a tiny little piece. Here, have 3 pieces of substantial size. Yeah. Because, you know, they might be either sick of people stealing shit out of their garden, or they might just be really willing to share. Oh, and there you go. If it's an old lady gardener, they're always willing to share cuttings and whatnot.
Well, that's what I think. People who love gardening are usually happy to share because it's, you know, that is a really good way for it to work, you know. And usually the bits that you cut off, it's not harming the plant that it's coming from or anything. But people who aren't into gardening usually also don't care if you take a branch off their tree. So, you know, if they care about it, they're happy to share. And if they don't care about it, they don't care about it. Hi, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm into gardening.
I could see you chewing, but I didn't know that if I added you to the stream while Sarah was soloed, I didn't know it would bring us straight up onto screen. I thought we'd just be in the background still.
In the background. Like,
you live and learn. Live and learn, ladies and gentlemen.
Like, oh, hey, I'm eating a candy bar. I found a little tiny, a child-sized candy bar on my desk. I was like, oh, It's got coconut. I must eat it.
What breed of candy bar was it?
Dark chocolate mounds.
Yeah, unfamiliar. Don't have them over here.
Yeah, you
That
don't have
means
those?
nothing to me.
It's like a little log of coconut, and then they dip it in chocolate.
Like a bounty.
Bounty? Yeah. Do you have Bounty over there?
That sounds like trash.
Mm.
No, it's probably similar.
Yeah, it's just gooey coconut. Yeah, it's coconut in the middle, isn't it? And chocolate on the outside.
Yeah, it's probably the same company, really.
I used to get scared of Bounties, though, because sometimes you'd bite into them and the coconut was like a rain cloud shade of grey.
Oh, weird.
And it's
I've never had one like that.
No, I'm going back a long time. I've had plenty of Bounties since that have been proper coconut white. But yeah,
I've never been down that road. That sounds frightening, though.
It does sound frightening.
I didn't buy. I mean, I ate the thing, sure, but I didn't buy another Bounty after that for quite a long time. Yeah, sorry, Two Dugs. I didn't answer your question before. Two Dugs was concerned about your health and well-being before Corvus, and was asking if you were coming, but that was when we're in the process of talking and messaging and stuff. So I didn't answer his question until I knew for certain that you were an alive type person.
What happened? I got confused.
Just because you hadn't showed up yet, so there was a question in the chat asking if you were ill or if you were coming today.
No, I'm okay. I just had family come into town. I mean, I worked all day, and then I had family come into town, and we had to offload their trailer and stuff, you know?
See you, Bruno. Have a good day, mate. Look after those ribs.
And,
Bruno's got a broken rib.
I got the stream notification. I normally get the stream notification at like earlier from you. And I got the stream message from you like right in the middle of dealing with the Kookaloos, everybody showing up.
The Kookaloos.
So I wasn't thinking about it at the moment when I got here. And then there was all the trailer and all that. And then there was pizza, and I had to eat pizza.
Had to, no doubt at all.
Legitimately, I had to eat pizza. There's just can't skip that.
No. I mean, even if you have one slice, it's still a must.
Yeah,
an essential
you gotta make it
activity.
happen. It was pretty good pizza too. It was quality. What's going on tonight? What's the topic? What are we talking about? Koalas?
Koalas.
Instagram?
Yeah, we spoke a little bit about Instagram.
Did we?
Well, look at that.
Yeah, I made mention of that. I looked at some people's shrimp on Instagram. That was about the depth of our Instagram conversation.
Okay.
We were talking about shrimp before and saying how there's so many really pretty ones out there, but they're very, very cost prohibitive down in this part of the planet. Oh, good day, JC.
Well, I think the hardest part is because you guys trying to import them. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, I find it a little bit wild because lots of the best breeders of all the fancy stuff is like Southeast Asia, so it's a mere 7 or 9 stones throw away from Australia. Surely shipping can't be that dear.
I don't think it's the shipping. I think it's the environmental protections. Like they won't let you import them because of the environmental damage that I think you're probably all too aware of from all of the invasive creatures that have been brought to the island nation of Australia.
Yeah, I think there's 2 states in Australia, Western Australia being one, but I'm not sure what the other is, that you can't even keep shrimp. You're not allowed to. It seems
the problem is like a lot of those shrimp will just take over in your waterway, you know. Like if they get out, which happens. We would all like to think that they would never happen, but it regularly happens, like all the time. So, and I think, Australia's had lots of problems with invasive species throughout your
Same.
country.
Mm.
So many invasive species. I mean, even just the cattle, right? Like, there's not really. Is there even supposed to be cattle?
I mean, yeah, because we eat lots of beef, but
I mean, I know that you eat lots of beef, but is there supposed to be cows there?
oh, there's certainly not supposed to be any animals with hooves here.
Right.
But now we've got wild cows and wild horses.
Yeah, and all the ground nesting birds are all gone.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's plain to see the damage they do when you just look at the corner in the paddock here where
Right.
It got wet for a few weeks and now it's just massive holes in the mud.
So I think honestly that's the big problem, is that Australia is really tight with their regulations going in and coming out. I have some Australia native plants which were incredibly difficult to get my hands on. Nowadays there are enough in the hobby, but like some of the Eriocalan and whatnot that I've gotten from that are native to Australia, like I got some of those like 10, 12 years ago, which was insanely difficult to get.
What was it called?
Like Eriocalan.
Don't even know it. It's
a river species, these little green plants, believe it or not, green plants. They make like little frondy. They're like little, it's hard to explain with my words.
Is it the one that you pull out of the water and it does different stuff to what it does when you pull it underwater? It holds air in the leaves when you pull it under the water? No,
well, not that I know of. I don't think so.
No, that one's
just they're just these little cool plants, and they were incredibly difficult to get a hold of. Like 10 years ago, a decade ago, it was like, yeah, good luck. You just see pictures of them. But eventually some made their way to the States, because the States is a disaster of,
everything from everywhere.
Yeah. And pretty regularly they talk about border security in the United States, because it's been politicized by the right-wing groups out here that it has to do with people coming over the border.
Yeah.
And they never talk about the ports. Almost all of the people coming into this country are from port of entry. All of the drugs, illegal plants, all sorts of stuff. It's all coming in through the ports. A very
with the borders.
Small amount comes walking across the border.
Yeah.
But it's been vilified with a lot of people in the United States that are the kind of people who don't like browns. They don't like the brown people. If that clarifies it for you a little bit.
Sure. Joe Coffey's coming through with all the classic statements.
What's
Good
that?
to have you here, Joe Coffey. Oh, Joe Coffey hasn't been in for a while, but he's come straight in with some of my old classic statements.
Oh, yeah. Ornamental shrimp could decimate Australian waterways. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I used to say decimate in about every seventh sentence back in the day.
It's true, because they could just live out there,
Actually, I think I've said it this stream. I think I said it earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, so I think Joe Coffey wasn't here then, though, so he missed out. Oh, Natural Aquariums, how you going? Welcome.
So in the U.S., like a good example was this last year, I ordered 3 batches of killifish eggs. Just off of like eBay, not even knowing where they were coming from, really. I was just
that was my next question.
One got here through the standard post from Vietnam. Just fish
in
eggs
an
in the mail.
or something.
Yep. And then one got here from Thailand, and then one was from I don't know where else. It got intercepted and destroyed. But like, average guy like me spent $20, ordered some eggs of fish eggs, right? That are the type of eggs that will just hang out in the air until they get wet and warm, and then they become fish. That's how they procreate. And they just showed up in the post, like, here you go. And like on the outside of the package, it literally said the scientific name of the fish, that there's this many eggs inside. Like here you go. They just came overseas from the overseas post. Like, no one literally held that package and said, like, huh. Right? And I'm not an importer or anything like that. I just ordered some killifish eggs off of eBay. I didn't realize they were international. I just thought that they were American or something, and they showed up. And I
How long ago did you receive?
What's up?
How long ago did you receive them?
Last year, I don't know, year and a half ago, year ago.
Oh, right.
Like that.
And
I don't know.
did the ones that arrive in the post hatch for you?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty hardy.
There were fish eggs in there.
So not just one fish egg.
Like 50, yeah. I mean,
Oh,
supposedly
wow.
50. I mean, how are you going to count them? They're really small. So
Yeah. And do you still have those killifish?
not at the moment. No. Mm-mm.
Did you move
No,
them
I had
on, or
them.
did they die?
I think I got like 5, maybe 15, between 5 and 15 of the little guys, and then they were swimming around for a while, and I had them in a tank that didn't have a lid on it, so they kind of hopped
Flew the
out and
coop.
did some kind of goofy stuff. So sad.
Maybe
it's
that's
real.
maybe that's one for your tank, Scungy. Look for some killifish. Some very, very pretty ones.
Mm-hmm.
Mm. And we can get them?
We can get certain ones down here. They're few and far between, but you'd certainly you'd be better off looking on, your livefish.com or All Fish to You. I think they're the most reputable online guys around here. And yeah, fairly often killifish are on livefish.com.au. But yeah, there's certainly a lot of really pretty varieties, and they're a interesting fish habitually as well. They're pretty entertaining little critters, as long as you've got to live.
And will they need more aeration in my water?
I don't think so. I think
No, not killies. You just need to make sure you have a lid on there, or they'll jump out.
I've got a lid, and I've got like a gap this big between the top of the water and the top of the tank.
Yeah, I don't think they'd have enough of a run up through your water to get enough launch to make that gap. But
they go big. They go big.
Yeah, right. She's pretty lidded up though.
I'm so lidded because I've got glass lid and then wooden lid over the top of it.
Yeah, we need more lids.
Are they
We need a plastic lid? We need a wire mesh lid. We need just all the lids.
Are killifish labyrinth fishes?
No.
In that family?
Off the top of my head, no, they shouldn't be a labyrinth gill. No, I don't think so. Killifish lab.
But yeah, they certainly
I don't think that they are. I mean,
I think
I've
I'm just confusing.
I've never known them to be.
I think I'm just confusing killing with labyrinths.
Will you show me one?
Oh, there's so many kinds.
There is.
Ones that we'd be able to potentially have?
Let me see.
It's probably wise to do like a search in livefish.com.au.
Hold on, I got you. Oh God, we don't want to save it in there. We don't want to save it in that. We've got to save it this drive, I think. Yep, this one. Yep. Okay, there we go. Let me see if I can pop it up here. I can do this, I swear.
You know you can.
Oh, I gotta push buttons though, you know? I mean, come on.
You've got the buttons, Jules.
I gotta push these buttons. There we go.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
that first one came up on live fish is quite pretty. No, I
They're
do not
just-
want to go on your
They're
newsletter.
just like little fish.
Yeah.
Yeah. But some of them are very pretty and ornately finned and stuff.
Will they eat shrimp?
Everything will eat shrimp. Is the nice way to put it.
But like to the point of it, you know, affecting the population largely.
Probably.
Okay.
Unless you go for like a real micro one.
Well, I mean, you know, the thing is that like any fish will eat shrimp is basically it's basically a good way to put it, right? Because shrimp are food, like to everything. Like it doesn't matter what you are.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, to say if they'll eat shrimp, like if they can, sure. I mean, because shrimp are food for pretty much everything, you know. But I wouldn't say that they're very like prolific hunters, realistically. So, you know, like they kind of hang around the top of the water. They sometimes go down to the bottom, kind of moving around. Like clown killies would be a good one. Like these little guys. I don't have an issue, but you could look it up since we have this crazy screen going right now.
Yeah,
you know, if you keep your
putting this
shrimp
guy
with like guppies or something, they still breed and multiply, and you still have lots of happy shrimp. You know, whereas if you keeping, you know, I mean, putting my shrimp with bedders was like just good food for the bedders. You know?
Yeah, I mean they'll eat
getting
them
more
probably
eaten.
as much as betas will. You know, I mean, like I said, like they're not like crazy prolific hunters. They're not really like killifish aren't really, you know, they're really not that prolific of eaters. You know, as far as like hunting and that kind of stuff goes, they're sort of just opportunist little guys. You know, like kind of bebopping around, like, oh, hey, there's something.
Baby shrimp lands on its nose, it's going to eat it.
Yeah, they're probably going to eat some stuff, but you know, I'd put them in the realm of betas where it's like they're around, like, hey, oh shoot, there's some food, you know, like kind of deal. They sort of have that attitude, you know. They're not like wildly going after stuff, but you know, also, you know, you do have to keep your shrimp population down. You don't want your shrimp population to get too far out of control. Like, you don't want too many shrimp. It seems impossible, but your shrimp colony can get too big, and then they'll all stop breeding.
Yeah,
well,
true.
I think that the tank setup I've got has got lots of really good like hiding spots for them.
Yeah, then a lot of them will survive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you always, if you're putting any fish with any shrimp, you've got to accept that there will be acceptable losses. But generally,
it's just the difference between not having any shrimp anymore versus, you know.
Right. Like I wouldn't put them in with like tiger barbs. I wouldn't put shrimp in with any barbs or gouramis or I mean anything that has like that predatory angelfish, you know, like anything that's like predatory, more predatory type fish, than the kind of more passive. Like I would put the killies in the more passive type fish. They're sort of just opportunistic, like, you know, they kind of come from an area where there just is food around. And they're, you know, they're little guys, but like, The clown killies would probably be the best because they're not like super crazy. They always hang out at the top and not really like going after stuff. Plus, they're really small. They're
That
like
sounds good.
that big.
Well, on that note, that's what I was going to ask because the comment from GRB about the peacock gudgeons, but like, are they how big are they? Because the only ones that I know are the gudgeons in the creek, and they grow like quite big.
Yeah.
Oh no, peacock gudgeons stay small.
Okay.
Yeah, peacock gudgeons stay small, like probably 2 inches at most. Like when they're really big.
I would rate them as more inclined to be a hunting type fish than a killifish, though.
Like, I just want to make a decision whether I'm going to have like shrimp and fish, or do I forego the shrimp or I forego the fish. I want something alive in there besides the plants at the moment, which is all I've got. And like maybe one shrimp. I had a little snail, but I haven't seen it for a long time.
Yeah.
So I want something in there. Yeah, well, I need a few, but I want the little ones with the little curly shells and not the ones that grow really huge. Because the tank is on quite a small scale, I don't want them to be like massive big snails. I want just cute little
those
curly
Malaysian
ones.
trumpet snails.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
Trumpet snail sounds like what I want.
They have that little swirly, little swirly shell.
G'day, Donny G. What's cracking?
Oh, hey Don, what's up? All right, I'm fading fast. I gotta go. I gotta go to bed. I'm tired. I'm sorry.
What time you got over there?
It's after 9.
Just I'm still trying to get a grasp on this daylight savings clock.
It's 9:05 p.m. What time is it there?
2:05 p.m.
Oh, okay.
But
Not bad. Tomorrow. Yeah, but it's tomorrow.
It is.
Yeah, I would have been on earlier, but I didn't know what was going on, and I got family show up, and
all good.
It was a long day today, and it was super hot out, and the pollen count is insane right now.
Oh yeah, you're in the throes of spring, aren't you?
Oh yeah. So the pollen scale, when they tell you what the pollen count is, goes from 0 to 500. 500 is extreme high pollen. Do you want to know what today's count was?
601.
1,200.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, I thought I was being facetious saying 600.
Yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, 500 is extreme, and it's like more than double extreme.
2.5 times extreme.
Yeah. Which I don't know about you guys. It just helps me be like all day kind of like ugh. But it was beautiful weather out today, and we've had the first like 3 or 4 nice days of weather, and we got like 1 or 2 left, and then it's just going to go right back to cold and raining again.
Yeah,
where
80 degrees.
Where I want to live, though. I want to live in the cold all the time.
I guess you move to Washington. The summer here is the best. It's like, I don't know what the hell 78 degrees is, but convert that to Celsius, it's like
27-ish.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, what is it? Like, let's see. 78 to Celsius. Oops. What the? My thing is just being ridiculous.
We're in this really lovely time of the year where it's really nice and cold.
25.
Oh.
I was like, 27 seems like a bit much.
Yeah, we're at the really nice stage of year where we're getting nice chilly nights, but the days are still warmish, but not too hot.
Right. Yeah, that's like our average summer day is like 25, 26, sunny all day. you know. And then when it's winter, it might snow on your head,
and
and you'd be like, "Oh my God, it's cold and snowing." Dr. Black has never seen snow in his entire life. He's 100 years old, and he has never seen snow.
Well, I'm getting to that.
Here's the thing, like when you talk about hot, the hottest I've ever been was 128 degrees, which I have no idea what that is in Celsius. Hold on, let's see.
Well, I was going to say I'm not even going to try since I stuffed up
Celsius.
my last one.
53.3.
Crikey, where was that?
Down in, yeah, actually outside of Death Valley, but it was 119 in Eastern Washington. It gets real. I know hot. See, I know hot, but you have never been anywhere where it's cold. You've never even seen snow in your life.
Yeah,
so I have a unique perspective that you can't even wrap your mind around. I mean, you could get the concept, like you get the idea.
But so having your perspective, you know, your wide perspective. If you had to be at one end where you're getting cold and snow, but your summers are bearable, or you had to live most of the year absolutely so hot you're going to die, which one would you choose? Which is your preferred out of the two extremes?
Not 10 months of summer.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have noticed that I am a white person of European descent. From the cold part of Europe, and it suits. I like it when it's hot. Sometimes it's nice. Like, hey, we had a month where it's hot. We had this, we had that. But then it's like, oh, it's frozen. Like, oh yeah, you know. And then like, oh, it's springtime. Oh, that's different, you know. Or like fall. Like fall out here is weird. Where I live, it's very weird because I don't know how many like leaf bearing trees do you guys have that in the fall, do they all turn red and leaves fall off the trees?
We have no native deciduous species.
Yeah.
The only deciduous species we have are imported.
Okay. So you have a little bit of it. So you've definitely been around. You've seen some.
Yeah.
But like here, there's like whole forests that do that, where you're like, as far as the eyes can see, like all the trees go from vibrant green cover to, oh, it's yellow, then it's red, then they all fall off. And then there's just no leaves for like 6 months. We're like, what? Maybe 5 months. I don't know.
Totally agree too, Doug's. It's much easier to warm yourself than it is to cool yourself.
Uh-huh.
And yeah,
and that's the thing. Like when it's cold, you could burn your neighbor's house down and get warm for a little while. You know, like you could aggressively attack the cold with some human inventions. You know, whereas it's very difficult to do anything when it's so hot that you're like, there's only an option of like, do you have air conditioning? You know, it's because it's like. Let's see, not last summer, but the summer before, it was like 110 degrees out in the shade, right? And you're just out there like, well, the sun's not shining on me, so this is as good as it gets. Like, okay, let me dump a bucket of water over my head. Like, well, that kind of worked, but now I'm just hot and wet. Like,
wet, yeah. Kind of makes it a bit worse, doesn't it?
That's kind of my thing is like, well, I like it when it's hot out because we don't have it for that long, you know. We have like probably a month on maybe a month and a half on the front end that is like we have like kind of wacky weather, you know, where it's like you know, like one day it'll be like partly cloudy and nice and sunny, you know, the next day like it's raining all day, and then the next day it's like, oh, it's sunny again, you know. And then the middle like 2 months of summer is pretty, you can kind of count on some relatively nice days in there for that period. And then the fall comes, it's a coin toss again. And then there's 6 months of cold, and then it just gets colder. And then by the time you're like, You're like, God, man, it's been cold forever. All of a sudden, you have like a 70-degree day, and everybody's like wearing shorts, like everyone, like busts out the shorts, and the flip flops and stuff. So, yeah, I
Yeah.
prefer.
That always sounds pretty appealing to me.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like living where there's seasons. I definitely enjoy that.
Yeah, it makes a
Yes.
difference.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, now that I'm probably potentially beyond the halfway point in my life, I've started to wonder whether I should try and go my entire life without seeing snow.
Probably seems like a really stupid goal as far as I'm
Yeah.
concerned. So the state in the United States that I live in, Washington, has every climate, every microclimate. So we have high plains, desert, we have lakes, we have rivers, we have the ocean, we have like shoreline ocean and inland ocean. So like, you know what I'm talking about? Like a huge inland ocean part. We have alpine mountains. We have volcanoes. We have rainforest. We have a huge rainforest area here. Pretty much, if there's an area that you like, you could pretty much find it in Washington and be like, hey, I like this spot. Here we go. It's hot and there's sand everywhere. Like, okay, I'm just here now. Like, what the fuck? Just put your flag down and be like, this is the spot. Or if you like it like a rainforest, you could go live in the rainforest. There's a guy that lives in the rainforest here. They're like filmed a show about him. He's just lived out there off the land. Like he has no shoes.
I can
Like
relate.
he wears leather pants from a goat that he skinned or something. You know what I mean? Like he's just some guy that lives out there with sticks and rocks. It's just a weird guy.
G'day, Crystal.
I
What
live in
about
a weird part.
sclerophyll? You got sclerophyll forests there?
That's what, sclerophyll?
Yeah,
What are you saying?
that's like a category of forest: wet sclerophyll and dry sclerophyll.
All right, let me type that in here. Sclerophyll.
I think it's phonetic: SCLEROPHYLL, or just one L maybe.
Sclerophyllus forest are typically Australian vegetation having types of plants, typically eucalyptus, wattles, and banksis with hard, short ends.
I guess you won't then.
What's that?
I guess you won't have sclerophyll forests over there. I didn't know it was a Australianism.
Yeah, but we wouldn't necessarily have like the specific trees, but we would have that type of forest. So, looking at the quick Wikipedia here. So we have short internodes and leaf orientation parallel or oblique to direct sunlight. The word comes from the Greek skleros or phylon. Okay. Yeah, but I mean, so we have to figure out like what microclimate this is.
Your
Forest
wet
climate.
sclerophyll's like your next level down from rainforest, and then your dry sclerophyll's your next
Yeah,
level
so
down
including
from that.
species such as holly, we have that. So we actually have this. So we have this type. We have this type. It's just not with specific Australian plants. It's with North American plants like holly and sagebrush and stuff like that. So yeah, we do have this type of forest. It's just different plants.
It's one of those words.
Okay, yeah. So here it is. So in the U.S., it's Californian chaparral and woodlands is what falls in that category. Yeah, where are sclerophyll forests found? So the northern part of California connects with Oregon, and then that part connects up with southern Washington. And so you have like madrona trees, sagebrush, all that kind of stuff, all combining together to make that climate. Also, the Mediterranean forests fall into that category, parts of Australia, and scrub biomes over the Mediterranean basin. So, and South Africa also, and Chile. So
It's one of those words that I learnt in year 9 science that I try and squeeze into any conversation that I can get it
makes
into.
sense. It makes sense, man. I'm with you, dude. I'm with you. So I'll try to remember it next time you bring it up. I certainly have never claimed to know everything, but today I've learned something. So I'm closer.
Closer to everything.
But yeah, that's the thing. Like the state that I live in has some type of every microclimate in it, and it's just like one of those stupid like quiz, bar quiz questions. Is Washington State.
Like GRB says, it sounds very similar to Tasmania with its conditions and how much of a bit of everything that Tasmania has.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's where I would want to be.
Would be a good place to live.
Yeah.
Could just go for a quick swim to the Antarctica.
It's pretty far.
Little bit of skiing down on the South Pole for the weekend. Thanks.
I don't think you're allowed. Well, I guess you're probably allowed, I guess. I suppose if you run into some penguin habitat, though, you're going to get into trouble.
Yeah, you've got to jump the penguins. You're not allowed to run them over. It's the rule.
You got to slalom around them. All right, guys. I love you to death. I got to go sleep. I'm going to die.
All right, dude. Sleep well.
I'm going to fall asleep on here, like, and it would be funny, but I think it would probably ruin.
Save it for when I'm monetized and it'll actually generate some views.
Yeah, we could do that. We'll save it. Where are you at now? What's your count?
Happy birthday for the last week too.
What's your count at? What's going on here? 681. Uh-oh. Did you lose
I lost
it?
one overnight. I think I looked last night and I was 682.
Those bastards.
Oh, look, if they don't want to be here, I don't want them here.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's exactly how that goes, right? I agree with that sentiment.
I only want people in that list of numbers if they want to be here and they enjoy the time they spend with me. I'm not fawning to people's wants or needs. I don't pretend to be someone that I'm not so I can get extra subscribers or anything like that. I just want the people on that list who want to be here and want to spend time and actually enjoy the shit we do, whether we say shit or not.
Exactly. We're here to have a good time with the people that want to have a good time, right?
Exactly. I do YouTube for me and those people, and that's it.
All right, buddy. I gotta go.
All right, man. Thank you.
Nah.
Good luck. Have fun with the fam, and we'll see you next week.
All right, bud.
Go well.
I'm dying.
Pardon me. All things fish. G'day, Mike. How's it going?
I also might not be much longer because I probably need to catch my dog and wash it again.
Might be wise if it's covered in poop.
Yes. I don't know what she's done or what's happened, but I probably do need to think about that in the near future.
Chalupa no tomatoes. G'day, Trav. I did see your comment before, but then I got lost in conversation. I wanted to say hi and drive safe and all that kind of stuff. Travis is a bit of a ledge. He's one of my new favorite people on the YouTubes. Mainly because he laughs at my jokes. That's all it takes, really. Good idea, Natural. Sometimes a sump needs a workover. And, unfortunate that you brought up a sump just as Corvus was leaving, because as most people know, Corvus is the sump guy. No, I don't make jokes, Joe Coffee. Oh, g'day, yes. How's it going? Yeah, well, I have to determine whether I finish it before I go and do a wee, or go and do a wee after I finish it. Or did I just give the same option twice with different words?
Yeah.
Essentially, I am really busting for a wee, and either I can finish the stream or go and do a wee and let you hang out for 27 or so seconds.
I'm not very good on my own.
Well, let's find out. I'm going to go and do a wee because I couldn't be. It'll take me less time to just go and do a wee and come back than pushing buttons and stuff.
Sure.
Travis has arrived home safely. Well done, sir. I'll be back. Ask Scungy some questions, everyone, while I'm gone. Keep it talking.
Hey, good luck. I'm not good at the talking. I don't know if it's weird though to just sit here quietly. Just sit and arrange my things around my desk. Okay. And so they will be happy in my tank that's only for small fish because it doesn't have a large volume and doesn't have a lot of aeration. The only real aeration is from a little waterfall that comes down some rocks and wood into the water, because that's what I need. I need something that is going to be happy in there. Like in theory, I could put a pipe air stone thing in there, I suppose, but I like it how it is. I don't like it. I don't want it with bubbles in it, really. I don't know. So at the moment, I'm not keeping any fish, but I have got a tank. So I set up a tank kind of probably about 12 months ago, which I am very happy with. It's got like a little waterfall corner and stuff, and it's kind of like half tank. So half the tank has got water in it, and then the other half is empty, and it just has like some plants coming up and like the top of the waterfall. And I made it. See, I don't really know how many litres it is. It's not very big. If I think about how much it takes to fill it up, I think about 30 litres. It's small.
That'd be about right. It's a 2-foot tank with a narrow profile and not too much height. So, yeah, I reckon you're putting about 30 litres in there. I think it would be classed as a 60-litre tank.
I think that's about right, because based on my estimations, the bucket's like 9 litres in it. So that's what I reckon. Yeah. And I don't know, I made it specifically, I wanted to make the waterfall, and it's got all like heaps of it's all natural creek stone and stuff in there and I wanted to make it, and I bought a beautiful better, like one, he had like the half moon tail, but was like all the really like natural creamy brown color, and it was beautiful, and I was really happy. But he got sick and he died, and then I got another one, just a really cheap one, because my expensive one died so quickly, and the cheap one was really healthy and hunted down all my shrimp. And I have had other tanks in the past, but I just don't have. I have a big house, and I have kids, and 1,000 creative endeavors, and I just don't know. If I started doing too many tanks, it would become too much to look after them. I just wouldn't stay on top of it. I know that I wouldn't. I know myself well enough. So
Joe
Oh,
Coffey's suggestion's pretty nice. They're very pretty fish, but I'm not 100% sure we can get the fundulo panchaks down here.
Can you show me them, please?
Oh, whoops. I'm going to actually push the share screen button first, don't I?
And yeah, I also have that fish bowl that had the guppies and the shrimp in it. And then it got the planaria in it. And since then, I cleaned it all out. Oh, yeah, that's cute.
Yes, very, very pretty.
They probably would look nice. Yeah, like I like the idea of just a couple of small ones in there so that they don't detract from the sort of setup, because I like the look of the tank. I like the water and the flow of water, and I like all the stones and stuff in it.
Good night, Donnie G. Sleep well, mate. Thanks for coming by.
But I wanted to put some more shrimp in that bowl again as well. Now that it's been fully, everything that was in it got tossed and it got washed out a few times, and now it's got stones in it, new stones and plants and stuff. And also for the chicks, I got that pad, so I'll be able to put that under it if it does need heating, because that was the thing last winter that I had to move the guppies out of it. Well, first I put them like in the lounge room so they'd get warm from the fire, but
yeah, I'm not sure. Like how thorough and full on did you get when you cleaned the bowl out? Did you like give it a bleaching or something to get rid of any potential future planaria?
I didn't, but I like scoured it with dishwashing liquid and I rinsed it a number of times. Then I left it to like dry. Then I scoured it out again, and then I filled it back up again.
Yeah, that should be good enough.
And like I said, I tossed everything, like all the Java moss that was in there, all the stones, everything got tossed out.
Yeah, I'd do that too. I've never had planaria myself, touch wood. But yeah, I would imagine that if I saw it in any of my tanks, I'd be very, very, very thorough with getting rid of stuff, or bleach the shit out of everything to ensure that nothing survives. Speaking of that, Tropico, didn't Arnold Schwarzenegger do a get to the chopper tweet or Instagram or something with regards to something that happened in America yesterday? I can't remember. I think I just heard him say get to the chopper on the news. I don't know if they were just fooling or what. I can't even remember what it was in reference to. Anyway, one of you Americans in the chat will tell me, no doubt, in a matter of moments.
But yeah, it was amazing though how quickly those tiny, tiny little worms just eat all your snails and shrimp.
Yeah.
Really fast. They eat a lot.
Well, I think that's the thing with worms, is that they're very efficient. So if there's food there, they're going to smash it.
Yeah.
Sorry, keep going.
Oh, that's all right. I don't know what I was going to say. Probably just that I want to put some shrimp back in that bowl again anyway. Because, it's nice and shrimp make me happy.
Well, I'd actually like to go through my 2 shrimp buckets, and before the winter hits and risk losing them, I'd like to get them out of there. So potentially that's a source of shrimp, but they won't be shining, glowing red ones like the ones you got off me first time. A lot of them have coloured right down.
I don't mind. If you've got ones that need places, I will happily pop them in. I just think they're cute and funny.
Plus, I've got to kind of pull the tall bucket apart to try and find that other piece of Windelov too.
Oh, yeah.
Ah, that's what it was. Natural aquariums. Thank you. Yeah, the NASA doing their little helicopter thing on Mars. That's why he said get to the chopper. Thank you. I needed that closure because otherwise I was going to be thinking about it, trying to remember what he was talking about all day long.
Hey, you know how you can get those like hexagonal tanks and stuff,
Yeah.
and then you know how you can get tanks where all the stuff is like in the top, because my I would really like a really nice like I can see how, I know what I would want to do with it and stuff, but what I don't like the idea of is having to have all of the equipment like in there detracting from it visually. How would you hide that? Can you get it like?
I'm confused. What stuff in the top are you talking about?
Well, I saw those ones, the tank, where like all of your filter gear and stuff was in like a lid section. So it came up and went through, like it still had some pipework stuff that came down into the tank. Do you remember that one?
No,
Like I may be missing some fact from it, but I kind of remember, because I know there's the ones with all of the gear in the back.
Yeah,
like
they're
that.
bad enough as it is.
Okay. So there'll be no way to make it aesthetically pleasing.
Probably not. I think anything, like if you've got filters and stuff in the top of the tank, seems
working against gravity.
Well, it's just fraught with ugliness, and I can only imagine difficulty to work with as well. Got to love an under-gravel filter, Joe Coffee, of course. But yeah, even that one that I've got over there that the little Festo was in with the sump in the back, it's just yeah, I don't know, it's a waste of space and doesn't work very well unless you've got it really set up perfectly.
Yeah, well, I mean, not working well is a thing, because I like the look of that though, where all of your tank space is kind of natural space and doesn't have all the other gear in there. Because like that's one of the things, it's about it being pleasing to look at as well, is one of the aspects.
Yeah, the best way to deal with that kind of thing is to have a drilled tank with an overflow, so your water all flows out down into a separate area, which becomes your sump, and you do all your filtering and your heating and everything in a separate tank, either below or behind, and then feeding back in, and then your only unsightly bit is you return back into the tank, depending on what kind of overflow you have. But yeah, you kind of can't get away with it very much nowadays without having a little something in your tank.
Because yeah, I mean, I see a few of those tanks around and I think about it, because I mean, I can see in my mind what I want to do, but
yeah,
then I can see all of the other stuff going wrong.
Joe Coffee's talking about Matten filters, but I think they are only beneficial on bigger tanks, because as soon as you put one in a small tank, bang, there goes 10 to 20% of your real estate gone.
So what is that? How does that work anyway?
It's like you get a large sponge mat, you know, like the stuff that I cut up for filters and stuff, that fits in. It fits snugly into your aquarium. So then you put it down one wall and you give yourself a space at one end of your tank where you have your pump and your heater and stuff. So basically your pump then draws your tank water through the sponge stuff and then feeds back through. But like I say, in a 2-foot tank, you need that mat and filter to basically take up 3 to 4 inches of space. And so, yeah, on a small tank, they're not really economical because, I mean, they do work well. Certainly a good thing to use, but due to the amount of real estate that they require to function adequately, not advisable for smaller tanks. I suppose you could maybe triangle it, do like a mat and triangle, go from like a front corner and then back a bit. Could be a potential way to do it.
I suppose if you had a nice big tank, right? If you had like, you know, octagonal versus hexagonal, yeah, it could look good if you had a good unit and you could like section off a section that's going to be, you know, so that at least what's out the front and sticking out is like what you see, and the other stuff would be in the other part of the tank behind. If it was a nice big one.
I think all of your in the tank you've got all of your ugly bits are definitely hidden. According to Joe Coffey's comment, but
that was important to me.
If you're talking about a tank like a octagonal tank or a hexagonal tank, I don't even want to go there because I don't recommend using octagonal or hexagonal or circular tanks.
Yeah, no, you said you don't like it.
They're a waste of valuable real estate.
But I don't know. I think that they're just so pleasing to look at. I like it. So I'm really like particular about what I really would want and like, and if I'm going to go to the effort of doing it, I'm going to do it like to get it what I want.
There's also, I mean, sure, they're frightfully expensive, but there's these lovely glass, and I think one company has actually put out a flexible pipe now that's like predominantly just looks like glass, so you can hide it quite well in your tank, and you don't see them as much, for like a intake and an outlet for your filter. So, you know, you can hook up these perfectly clear pipes to an external filter so you see bugger all. And you get one of those external filters with a heater built in if you require heat.
Well, yeah, I mean, that would be, I mean, even if the pipes, you know, if they're going in a corner against a seam and I can just have like, I guess it's just what's on the outside of the tank matters as well. You know, if it's going to look good in a space.
Just got to play with it, I suppose.
I'm going to keep thinking.
Well, what was the I'm still a little bit confused about the octagonal one with all the bits in the top.
No, it wasn't an octagonal one. It was just a regular kind of tank.
Oh, right.
But it had like a lid section that had junk in it for filtering and stuff. I can't really remember. But it was like a whole unit that sat on the top of the tank. I don't know whether it was something that we saw when we went to the thing or it's something that we saw when we were like gum-treeing different tanks, and maybe you said, "Oh no, that's horrible." I don't I don't remember.
I am I'm a little bit keen to try an overhead sump on one of my tanks. Potentially this one, just to give all the pothos somewhere else to grow instead of straight into the tank. I like the idea of an overhead sump. That could be a thing to consider, because then you can just fill it with plants and hide that, and then it becomes your filtration anyway.
I'd like to I love the thought of having the top being able to have all plants and having all of the pothos coming down and stuff. That
Well,
would be nice.
That's the kind of potential that an overhead sump gives you. It's basically just a pit of water that you feed tank water up into, and then it trickles out back down into your tank. So you can fill it with gravel or some other kind of substrate, and that then houses beneficial bacteria. Then you can put your plants and whatnot in it.
Okay.
And they're taking nitrates out of the water and stuff, so it's very beneficial.
Right. But so I could make that work on my imaginary octagonal tank?
Potentially, yeah, but obviously with an octagonal tank, an overhead sump would be quite small, because you're not going to get a octagonal tank that's more than, say, 2 foot wide. That's going to be a massive octagonal tank.
It's just a dream for now. But you got to have dreams, Yeah, I think I have heaps of really good tank ideas. Just I'd have to have
So you can
lot bigger bank account to make them happen.
Say that again. Sorry.
I think I have a lot of really good ideas for tanks. Because if I feel like I've already can imagine all of the different specific details necessary to make it good. But I'd need to have a bigger bank balance to put any of it into action, because everything I'm imagining is quite, elaborate and probably requiring, a lot of work to get all the bits right.
You're starting to sound like a fish keeper or something.
And I don't even have any
getting all these ideas and stuff. Plans and things.
I do, but I love the idea of the tank itself being like working in the environment that it's in, like looking really pleasing in the space, and incorporating. I want it, plants and nature, like a little bit of, nature in the house, like it's spilling into your house. Not just like a little isolated block that you look into, like a window, but like it's really, truly like a bit more organically grown into the house than just something from somewhere else put in, placed in there, an alien object. Okay, so no overhead sump for octagonal tank.
Well, if you.
Oh wait. Yes.
Like I was saying, with your octagonal tanks, you're not going to get one that's, much bigger than 1.5 foot across, because I think it's mainly because of structural integrity that they become quite weak, because there's too many joins. So you just don't have that breadth across the tank to make a decent size sump.
But does it have to be like? Couldn't it also be deeper than wider?
Could be deeper, sure, but you might be. I guess the deeper a sump goes, the less effective it might become in that situation, because you want it to be shallow enough that you're oxygenating your water, not having your plants in there too drenched, It's more or less just like a a shallow creek bed sort of situation that you're building with an overhead sump. I'm not sure. Other people might have different opinions.
Also, depending on your kind of cabinetry and how you've got it, you could have it with extra space, than what your tank has.
That might not feed into your organically part of the house kind of situation, though.
Yeah,
But
no,
that's
well,
true.
already, and also it would be quite costly the way I'm imagining, because you'd want to have it made like, have a proper woodwork.
You could install like a shelf above it and have a nice long rectangular sump over top of it. That would work.
Yeah.
Just trying.
It's
was
not
such a
because it's
picture
not about having more space. It's about how pleasing it is to look at, and to have all the different sections of glass. All the lines are just more pleasing. That's what I reckon. And I'm sure that a lot of times, I'm always looking to get bigger and bigger tanks and have lots and lots of space, and you don't want to give up that real estate, as you said. But I think that it's not, if I'm thinking my goal is sort of aesthetic, then I like the angles. I like the different views that you get through it. And I like the way it looks from, as an object as you move around it. And you don't get that. Although I do really like the square tanks. I like the ones that are like as deep as they are wide. I like the way that the, like all of your landscaping inside looks and can go with that kind of depth. And maybe that's part of the thing with the octagonal one too, because it gives that different sense of depth than there is something that's rectangular, and you don't have, you sort of have this one screen. Yeah, so cube tank, like I really like them. I think that they look good too.
Just trying to find a picture that was posted in one of the fish groups the other day of like an awesome paludarium that I think you might enjoy.
I might, because that is something that I like a lot.
Unfortunately, I can't remember which fish group it was posted in. G'day, Jason.
Well, if you don't find it now, you can send it to me. Not that I like sitting and talking when it's nice.
And speaking of,
I just might have to. I want to wash the dog before the kids get home.
Speaking of hexagonal tanks,
see, I like it. I like the way that it looks.
Well, even with those fluorescent coloured plants.
I don't care about the plants. I just mean the glass and looking in itself. That's what's like. Yeah, I do. I love that. That's what I want.
That's like barely a foot of water under there. But,
Yeah.
when you've got a situation like that going on above the water, as if what's in the water matters.
No, that's a dream. I love that.
That's brilliant.
And I love the idea of it being very little, and, having, shrimp or prawns or just a couple of little fish, so that all your focus is on the plants, but there is still just that little bit of life in there, just some little point of interest that might flash past from time to time, might be hidden a lot of the time and you don't see it because, I like that idea. It's more natural to my thinking than them being on display in your face front and center all the time.
In a unit of that size too, you've got plenty of water volume there that you could still house plenty of fish life and shrimp life and stuff.
If I had something like that, though, I'd still only want like a small amount of living creatures in it. I don't know. That's what I reckon. Because I love plants. Or you could get frogs in there. You know, that would be nice. Have some little dwarf frogs. You have tadpoles sometimes, you know. I'd like that.
Well, I mean, I'm 1.5 steps closer to giving you that cube tank with the round face on it. Now that the Feste doesn't live in there anymore, but I really want to use it to grow out plants. But my Windelov has already detached from the piece of wood I had it on in there. But where it's wafted to, I think it might be a good spot. So I want to leave it for a couple of weeks and hope that the Windelov attaches to the wood. Otherwise, it's going to become part of the Windelov tree as well. I think most pseudomuggles we can get down here natural.
So show me those ones. Dog's crying.
Considering a lot of pseudomuggles are native down here. I'll see if I can find. Hang on, what was he? Fukata. See if I can find them up. Whoops. If I spell it right, doesn't it? Pseudo. Why have I spelt it wrong? Was it Furcatus that he said? Pseudo Mugil. Click back there. Fukata or something. Fukata. Furcatus. Oh yeah, those guys are pretty choice. Definitely one of the
I would forego the shrimp being in that tank if I had that tank and I could have frogs in it. Oh, that looks like a wicked little, hairdo, doesn't it? Like an 80s do. I like that.
Very, very impressive fish.
Yeah, that's a cute fin.
And I have a strange feeling that they're an Australian native. Most of the blue eyes are, but some of them are Southeast Asian as well. Maybe confirmed or denied in the chat. Yeah, they would, Joe. The frogs would decimate the shrimp population, but that's probably what you were replying to before, wasn't it?
Yeah. I would rather have like some of those dwarf tree frogs or something in there.
I think in the tank that you've got, you'd need a lot more height.
My tank I've got isn't suitable for frogs.
No. They, as wet as they like to be, they like to get away from the constant wet as well.
Yeah, no, I know that about this one. But, and I probably never own a giant glass box as big as that one to make something like that. Like,
Not with that attitude.
I'd love to have it as like one of the walls in the house, just a giant thing like that.
Yeah, I've got eyes on a space, I'd like to do that too. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Coming through. They're PNG fish. But yeah, very closely related to our honey blue eyes and Pacific blue eyes that we get around here. I think we do get mud skippers here, GRB. I don't think I've seen them myself, but I think they are here. They might prefer the slightly warmer temperatures further north. But I think we do get some form of mud skipper here.
I believe I've heard that we do, but I've also not seen them myself.
Mm. Kind of like those. Remember when we were down at the North Wall that time, and there was those little black and white stripy guys in the rock pools, but they were more of a goby type fish, but they looked like a mud skipper, and they certainly looked like they could handle jumping up out of the water for a bit. All right, Joe Coffee, don't be a stranger, mate. We'll see you next week. Else I'll come looking for you. Thanks for swinging by, and I'm bringing some of the old catchphrases back into use. Even though they're not really old, I still use them all. 17 and 19 make regular appearances. Decimate makes a regular appearance.
I mean, it's just a word. You can use it when it's appropriate to use it.
Isn't that what catchphrases are? Just words?
They're like a particular set of words. You know, I think that's why it's a phrase. Catchphrase. No, I don't know.
All right, and that's the end of the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Wow.
No, but I will go, and I'm going to go wash my doggo.
Yeah, I'm going to go too. We'll call it an evening there. There's probably, Travis or Adele or someone's probably gagging to chuck a new stream up after we're finished. If anyone's going to stream afterwards, let us know right now so we can get you a link up and, send people off. Otherwise, we will finish up and press off and all that. Thanks for swinging by, Jason. Swing by next week. I will say that I think this week's episode has been really low key compared to what we normally do. So, don't take this one as an example. Go back and watch some of the old ones where the lunacy happens. Would you agree? We've been pretty mellow this episode, haven't we? It's been quite low key.
Sure.
That was your fault, BJ. You shouldn't have left. Don't go blaming us for your, what are they called? Shortcomings.
Yeah. But I truly am going to go.
Righto. Thank you.
So thank you, everyone, and I'll see you next time and all the stuff. But yeah, poor dog is sucking, and I gotta go.
Yeah, hit her with the hard hose.
All right. Bye.
Toodaloo. And then there was one. GRB, thanks for smashing those links out again, bro. You're worth your weight in gold, brother. What else? Any questions before I go? You're right, BJ. You're okay. Still waiting for that shirt picture though. Look. Why does my camera look like an 80s porn movie? I swear I'm all blurry and stuff. Anyway, jump on Teespring, get yourself a Varf Data shirt. You know, plenty of other stuff on Teespring as well. If there's something that you like on my Teespring and it's too expensive, email me. I've been in the process for a long time, but it's a lengthy, time-consuming thing to go into Teespring and adjust your prices. So yeah, if there's something you like, let me know. I'll make it cheaper. I need motivation to get in there and make stuff cheaper because Teespring's a little bit ridiculous and I don't really care about the profit. I would, you know, just prefer to get some of the stuff out there. There's some nice scungy artwork on shirts, some other silly stuff, but mostly I'd prefer to see scunge princess artwork selling on t-shirts. We got a few. But get in there, get amongst it, and let me know. drblack66@gmail.com if you want to email me and say, I want this shirt, but it's about $11 too expensive. Can you make it cheaper? And that will instantly motivate me to log into Teespring and change the price. So feel free to do that. Anything that I list on Teespring in the future, now that I know that it's much better to set your price at the start instead of going in and fiddling with it afterwards. Anything that I list in the future will be considerably cheaper than anything that's up there now, apart from the ones that I've already changed. So like I said, let me know if you want that stuff. Everyone's got merch nowadays. It's, you know, it's a thing. But yeah, it's an expensive thing for a lot of people. So I'd rather make it affordable for people to actually get that stuff on their body instead of making, you know, 19 or 27 cents from a shirt. I'll just break even. That's good enough for me. Just get it out there. Anyway, thanks. It's been fun, even though, like I said, it hasn't been a high energy stream like normal and stuff. Probably cause I've been up since the sun came up. I'm trying to do this new thing where I get up early in the day and get the day underway. So I'm going to keep working on that, and you keep working on your stuff. We'll all keep working on our stuff, and everyone will be better for it. So thanks for hanging out. Thanks again, GRB, Super Link guy, and all the new people coming along. There's one thing that I don't do very often. If you're watching this on replay, congratulations if you've made it this far. That's outstanding testament to your staying power. Well done to you. Anyway, that'll do. Take it easy, everyone. See yous when I'm looking at yous.